Welcome back to the Senior Living Show. I'm Vicki Rogers, and here with me again is Scott Neal. He's one of my favorite guests of all time. You've got so much knowledge. He's the president of D. Scott Neal Incorporated and the founder of Caregiver Circle. And today we're going to talk about something very important, money, cash flow. You know, we've all got budgets that we try to live on. We all try to adhere with our budgets. But when you get older, you get retired, you are on a fixed income. How do you deal with cash flow when you have a different kind of a situation as retirement?
First of all, budget is just a bad word.
Okay, let's leave that out then.
Leave that out. Let's talk about cash flow.
Okay.
But first of all, and I'm talking in the context of a caregiver taking care of an elder in this particular case. And so sometimes it's very difficult to know what all the cash coming in is, the amount I'm talking about, how much is coming in. But we got to get a handle on all that cash, and all of that cash has to go somewhere. There are 5 things, and only 5 things that you can do with every bit of the money that comes in.
Only 5?
Only 5. You pay taxes.
Okay.
You pay some on your debts if you have any. You give some, you save some, and you spend the rest.
Okay.
And it's the spending the rest that really determines one's living standard. So this is after taxes, this is after debt, and so forth. And so most of our clients want to see that living standard grow with inflation out until the end of their lives. But I've seen a lot more people these days become afraid that they're going to run out of money, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay,
yeah, that's interesting. What do you consider discretionary versus non-discretionary, and how do you make that distinction?
Well, first of all, in my 5 categories, taxes are pretty mandatory. I haven't run across too many people that want to go to jail for not paying their taxes. And so taxes is non-discretionary. Debt payments, that's a decision that was made some time ago to take on the debt. So now the payment has to be made. And so that's pretty non-discretionary in most cases. And so the other categories, however, saving, giving, spending, that's what we would call discretionary income, or what economists call discretionary income at least. And so then you can drill down to that spending level, and some of those are mandatory. They're absolutely required. We want to keep the lights on. We want to eat and things like that. So you have, in each category, you have some discretionary and non-discretionary as well. How
much should they be saving? How much should all of us be saving?
Well, that's a
ballpark.
That's most of the time, by the time we reach retirement, we're no longer saving. The economists call it dis-saving. We're actually taking money out of the portfolio in order to maintain that living standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. So there you have a term, living within my means, and you're going to tell us a little bit of a hint about that.
Yeah. You and I were probably taught that living within our means not spending more than our income.
Correct.
So many seniors today, it is essential that they spend part of their principal or part of the corpus of their estate in order to maintain that living standard, that some money has to come out. And that becomes part of the cash inflow for the bank account. So I've rephrased it to say that living within our means living within our resources. And resources can be all of your assets. It can be the equity in your home and things like that. Now, I get a lot of pushback from, particularly from my elders, that they don't want to tap into the equity in their home. But there are means to be able to do that today that are quite acceptable.
And you recommend that?
Well,
depending
within reason. You can go overboard with it. I heard a story once upon a time about a fellow over, I think he was in England, and the doctor said, "You have 6 months to live," and he went out and spent it all.
Oh.
And then the doctor came back and said, "I made a mistake." I think he sued the doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
well,
anyway,
yes.
But that kind of thing does happen.
Okay.
So we don't want to spend. We want to spend until the end, but we don't want to run out.
All right. Well, I really love all your tips. Where can folks get more information, Scott?
I think they can come to caregivercircle.com. We talk about things like this, and there are 3 free resources there available for download.
All right. You need to go check it out. We'll be back in just a couple more minutes with more from the Senior Living Show.